Ever wondered what you'd do when you retired? We decided to buy a little caravan and tour around Europe. It's cheap, it's cheerful, yes, even when it's raining. You see wonderful sights, meet great people, and generally have a damn good time. This year we're doing Italy for 6 weeks, although we wandered over to the French Riviera for the last fortnight. We took a small camcorder along, just for the record.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm not quite sure if I got that right, but I think I sound convincing.
It's really quite warm now, isn't it?
Very muggy, yeah, but much better than all the rain we've had. I mean, this is a delight to be hot and perspire and feel your deodorant actually has to work. But we've walked, what, a couple of miles today, or 3, do you think?
Probably about 3 miles.
3 miles. But this was us, well, it wasn't actually our goal. The Vatican was our goal, but we somehow missed it. But this is the Collesium, or the Collesium. And all over here are ancient sort of Roman ruins, but I think we've walked our socks off, really. And so I think we'll just have a quick look at the Collesium, then we'll get a bus back to the station.
And come back tomorrow.
Yeah. You can't do it all in one day, can you, if you're going to enjoy it?
Seeing the Colosseum on TV is one thing, but seeing it for yourself is another. Its sheer scale is astounding. Anyway, let's buy a ticket and have a look inside.
Yes, I wasn't expecting it to be hollow underneath. I thought it would be solid, a bit like a bull ring, you know.
Well, of course it was restored this century, but a lot of the brickwork and the structure was taken away or destroyed to actually build churches. But I didn't expect to see all these underground passages exposed, but clearly that's where the gladiators and the animals were. And this platform you can see here would have been the level arena, and the the animals, the gladiators, would have come up in a sort of hoist, wouldn't they, up to that top level, and then let out into the arena. Oh no, I think so. Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, Russell Crowe knows all about this. You only got to watch Gladiator and you know what you're talking about, don't you? I've just read in my book, this place, this arena, could house 55,000 people. Are you sure that's right, 55,000? 55,000 people, can you imagine the noise? As everyone sort of roared as the gladiators came out. It must have been absolutely stunning. Did I read that it was 500 animals killed in a day?
Yeah.
A day of games. No, 500, I think it was, 500. And the games lasted for 100 days. Are you sure? I'm going to get my book out. I'll tell you off if you're wrong.
Like it was staged in a theatre. Like it was
Yeah, I was right, it was 5,000.
Yeah, you were. So it was 5,000 animals killed in a day, and the games lasted for 100 days. It's a hell of a lot of animals, isn't it? Amazing. Absolutely amazing. But what a shame it was destroyed by people wanting to build churches.
It's the next day and we're back. This time we're doing St. Peter's Square and the Vatican. But first, something to eat. This cross between a cake shop and cafe is typical of many around Rome, and it's a good way to start the sightseeing day.
we're going off that way to St. Peter's.
And here we are. St. Peter's Square was designed by Bernini and forms an oval shape in front of the Basilica of St. Peter and the apartments of the Pope. Here the Pope can be heard celebrating Mass during his weekly address. St. Peter's is famous for its long symmetrical colonnades with a central obelisk and two identical fountains, considered one of the best examples of Bernini's work. An army of statues, saints, martyrs, popes and founders of religious orders, a total of 140, welcome pilgrims. Ah, someone from the colonies.
Well, we started out at the Forum this morning and went to the Forum and then to the Collesium and then to the Spanish Steps and then here.
Next, it's St. Peter's Basilica. This is when it starts to get a bit crowded. However, the crowds don't detract from the beauty of a stunning building. The Basilica of St. Peter was begun under the papacy of Julius II around 1506. As you enter the basilica, which has the traditional form of a Latin cross, several things will strike you. Its sheer size, its incredibly ornate decoration, and, most of all, the pervasive golden light that bathes every corner of the church. The central and side naves are filled with altars, monuments to the popes, statues of the founders, and intricate mosaics.
It's a remarkable sort of church, isn't it? Rebuilt in 1500 to 1600, I think, but originally on this site, a church, a basilica, about 300 AD. So it must have been a holy place, or for them to bury St. Peter here, I guess, even at that early time. Does that make sense? What do you think about that?
Next, we're off to the Vatican in search of the Sistine Chapel. To reach the Sistine Chapel, though, one first has to pass through the Chiaramonti Museum. The museum was founded by Pope Pius VII, and it's divided into 60 sections containing statues, busts, sarcophagi, reliefs, and about 800 Greek and Roman works. Paintings cover almost every surface, and if you get a crick in the neck from looking up, there's always the floor to look at. Well, it's been a long old haul, but eventually we arrive at the pièce de résistance.
Right, I nearly missed it, didn't I? Goodness, I thought that long gallery was the Sistine Chapel. But this is it, isn't it? You can't mistake it now. It is, but I suppose that's to preserve the paintings.
One of the most famous places in the world, the Sistine Chapel is a site where the conclave for the election of the popes and other solemn pontifical ceremonies are held. The frescoes on the long walls illustrate parallel events in the lives of Moses and Christ, and were painted between 1481 and 1483 by Perugino, Botticelli, Cosimo Rosselli and Domenico Ghirlandaio. The barrel-vaulted ceiling is entirely covered by the famous frescoes which Michelangelo painted between 1508 and 1532. And that's another day of sightseeing over.
We're off to the Basilica, San Pedro's or St. Peter's. Anyway, it's St. Peter's. No, I'm not in the mood for doing this. We'll have to do it another time when my wits are collected. But anyway, we're going off that way.